Welcome everyone to another episode of Open Mic with the MVP Marco. I am, of course, your host, the MVP Marco. What a crazy run this has been. I've been back to back interviews like crazy. This is something I told myself I wasn't going to do constantly, but it's just I get inspired. I see people I want to talk to, and I make it happen. Hopefully, you listened to the last episode that just released. It's a Halloween edition. It's myself, Chick Foley, Sheena Phelps, as well as Over the Moonsault with Casey. So they both joined me and we talk everything, Halloween. I had covered both spectrums where, Casey Over the Moonsault, if you follow her account at Over the Moonsault, she's, heavy into cosplay, mainly wrestling cosplay. I interviewed her before, way earlier in this show. So she's just back on to, talk all things Halloween. She's more of the safe side of Halloween, where Sheena is more, she's into the horror stuff and, horror movies and scary things. So I cover both spectrums. So definitely listen to that. Very good interview. We'll probably come back again around Christmas time, maybe do a Christmas special. Who knows? This show, if you listen to it so far, it's, like I said, it's based in wrestling, but it can go anywhere. I discriminate against nobody in the nerd culture or wrestling culture. Everyone's welcome on the show. But anyway, before we get to my guest, the Pod Foundation, that's who brings us to you by way of the Chick Foley Show. The Pod Foundation is obviously the Chick Foley Show. Myself, Sheena, Seth, and Jordan, the Fig God, as we call him. The Extra Cooler Show with Nick and Matt and the rest of his team, as well as the Turnbuckle Tavern. They're the guys that, like I said, they're the workhorses. They have a podcast literally every day of the week, including Thursday. I'm a part of that as well. I double dip. I'm on this show. I'm on Chick Foley Show, and I'm on the Turnbuckle Tavern feed with J Bone from Coming Down the Aisle, who rounds out the Pod Foundation. But yeah, definitely check us out every Thursday, 8 o'clock on YouTube. The Turnbuckle Tavern. We cover all things that are happening in the WWE universe. We're the only show on the Turnbuckle Tavern that does that. So definitely check us out. It's a fun listen. But let's get to my next guest. So this is someone that I've been trying to get for a while, just following his content, the stuff he does with wrestling clips, infusing music with it, mainly hip hop, which is what I love, what I grew up on. So wrestling and hip hop, when you put those things together, it's magic. I mean, you're starting to see that now, especially in today's wrestling culture. With the greatest athletes that they have out right now, black athletes. You have Swerve, Bianca, soon to be Jade Cargill on WWE, but obviously if you haven't seen her in AEW, definitely check out her work there and stuff like that. So we're taking over the wrestling world. So let me bring in my guest. He goes by Gold Bars and Hooks. How are
Hello.
you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. That was a cool intro.
I try to. I don't write out any of the intros that I do, so I
Yeah.
try to do it on the fly. And a lot of people love the intros that I do, so I try to
Yeah.
give all the props I can before you get on. But yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, we were kind of talking before the show, and your account is definitely one that I've wanted to do. That was something that I envisioned what mine would look like. A lot of vintage wrestling clips, old wrestling clips mixed with music, maybe some pictures of myself, that type of stuff, and anything else I had going on. But you definitely took the ball and ran with it with stuff like that. So
Oh man, I
uh,
appreciate it, man.
yeah, no, I'm very thankful that someone actually took that did that idea that I had. I was like, damn, he does it so well, so I don't even want to copy you. I'm just gonna
No,
take a
it's not
different
copying,
path.
man. Do it, man. The more, the merrier. The more we get that combination going, like it's better. Like let's do it.
Yeah, definitely. Like I've had old man Rucker, as he's called on Twitter. He's from Boot to the Face podcast. We had
Oh, dope.
we had some discussions on I asked him what he thought the climate was with black wrestling nowadays. Is it different? Is it has it changed from the past? Do you see changes and stuff like that? Obviously, there's a lot more black athletes that are on television now. A lot more. They're getting a lot more shine. So what do you think? What do you think the status is right now? Like, can it still grow some more? Is it where it should be? What are your thoughts on that?
I think we're in a renaissance, to be honest with you, because
Mm,
I remember when I first started my page, like in 2013, it
mm,
wasn't it wasn't
yeah.
too much going on, and like even with the content creators and the
Hmm.
the personalities, there wasn't a lot going on with us with that either because it was kind of a dry spell. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people I talked to, there's like, it's it's fake, right? And then I would
Yeah.
find
Yep.
myself showing them, hey, what do you think about like Trinity, or what do you think about her? Oh, she's beautiful. Yeah, check her out. Watch her. She's on Raw and SmackDown and stuff, and
Yep.
people would start doing, going to that. But like I remember even for a while, like me and my buddies, we used to go, we like it was 2014. We went to some Raws in LA, and then we went to a SummerSlam. And like I remember, because my friend he had dreads, and it was like even on the fan side, we were like kind of like a dot. And I remember one of the guys was like, "Hey, it's the New Day. It's Kofi." And my friend had dreads, so he was like, "Oh, it's Kofi." And he was like, "Yeah, okay." But
Jeez.
because for the longest, I didn't even show my face on that account, because
Mm,
I just felt like it would be too weird or whatever.
yeah.
But I think right now where it's at, like you look up, like you said, Jade, you even got Mercedes, you got Trinity on TNA, you got Swerve, you got um all these guys. I can't remember his name. He's on TNA. He just won the tag titles.
Oh man,
What
I'm
happened?
horrible. I'm
I
horrible with
drew,
names.
yeah, me too. I just drew a blank. Like you look up and the way that they're presenting Jade, like it's
Yeah, like she's a big deal, man. That's
so
yeah, that's one of the things that I definitely noticed with like especially with WWE. I mean, obviously they've grown with like the women's division and stuff like that, but like I know a lot of people were kind of upset with Jade, like the announcement of it because they wanted to be like a a secret and like she just appears at Royal Rumble, but I think they did it the perfect way. Like
yeah, they
you
did it.
present her as the star that she is and who they're. I see that for some reason I see them putting her as on the Roman Reigns level, like giving her like really like she has that like that quality. Like when you see
Yeah,
her on TV, it's like it's unmistakable the star power that she has. Obviously, missed opportunity on the AEW side,
yeah.
but
I mean, I
W
saw
yeah
I saw that star stuff when she was in AEW. I was like, yo, this is a lob. This is a layup right here. That's a
yeah
dunk. It's a slam
yep
dunk. And I mean, they still have a Athena over there and stuff, but like
Athena yep
it's just we killing it right now. And
yeah
content
definitely.
creators too, the
Mm.
personalities too right now. It's a lot of us. I see. I was the only one for the longest. Like I
Yeah
felt I wasn't aware of it.
yeah
There's probably some people out there, but I felt like I was the only one. Like dang, like. But
yeah.
now like, it's a lot of us out here, so I'm glad. It's awesome.
So who have you run into as far as like content creators? Um, black content creators in wrestling because I know you. Well, I know you now,
Yeah,
but like I followed your page. King Coley is another one that I follow with the
yeah.
um
It's a lot more of us on Twitter than it is on
and then
Instagram.
Instagram. Okay.
I feel like there's a lot of people from Texas
Yeah.
that,
Okay. Yep.
like I can't remember all the
That's
names, but
Rucker. Yeah. Like I said,
yeah.
old man Rucker, boot to the face. He's yeah, he's from Texas. So yeah.
But one of the first people I ran into was Random Ramblings with Rob, and
Mm,
he wasn't he at the time he didn't have just wrestling show. He was just doing a lot of different things, and then he eventually started doing a wrestling show, and he's the one who hit me to a lot of stuff like to
yeah.
the bounty hunter and stuff like that.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah. Yep.
so like Rob was like when was that, like 2017 I met him
Mm,
when because back then I had a podcast. Me and my buddies, we did a podcast alongside, and I just ran the page, and then we did the podcast together. And so like I've run into a lot of people like the wrestling classic. We kind of he's not black, but he was one of the
Yeah.
first people I've met on Instagram. He was like one of the first friends I made
Mhm.
on there. Like he came I think either a little before me or a little after me. And then I just saw him blow up, and he always be like, "Hey man, let me shout you out. Let me put you on your on my page and shout you out,
Yeah.
or like put your podcast on my website." So like that's always been cool. That's a cool relationship. But yeah, for the most part, it's just randomly. Like I just meet
Yeah.
certain people. It's never like I'm here, and so
Yeah. Yeah.
it's pretty
Definitely.
cool.
Yeah. I have. I actually interviewed Justin a couple. What was it? It was like maybe a month ago or so.
Awesome.
I reached out to him. He's friendly with Sheena Chick Foley,
Oh yeah,
whose
yeah,
podcast I'm on. So I reached out to him, not through her. I just reached out to him randomly and said, "Hey, maybe I can get him, get to do an interview with him."
yeah.
And
He's a cool dude.
yeah, he's that podcast was actually like it was like I think it's like 2 hours. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh
we like
wow.
we were just talking about like a ton of different stuff. He was an awesome dude. He's one of the first or second people I started following early in the, like you said, early in the Instagram days. There wasn't really any like wrestling content at all. It was mainly
Yeah,
like it was like really like him, Chick Foley, I think Extra Cooler as well, who does art and stuff like that.
yeah.
They
Oh
all
yeah,
kind of like they all like started like helping each other out. I remember I followed Justin through Chick Foley's page because she bought one of his first like wrestling classic shirts, and she posted a picture of her wearing it,
yeah.
and then she tagged him in it. Then I clicked on that, and that's how I found out about him. And then obviously I've been following him ever since. But
See,
yeah, he's on another level when it comes to when it
yeah.
comes to
See, with
wrestling
with those guys,
content.
like I feel like with him especially, and a few others, but especially him, like I don't think uh it's understood or stated that the casual fan being brought back to wrestling, the
Yes.
responsibility of that like lies on his page.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah. Like he
that's
said, yeah, he did say that like the people that when he was getting like DMs from like wrestlers and all this stuff, and like when he first started, because he was posting all these like clips and he was
yeah,
posting like pictures, like vintage stuff, and people reach out like, oh my god, I forgot about this, or like personally like the people that like he posted be like, oh
yeah,
man, I totally forgot about, or just be people that are like wrestling fans in general, or wrestlers that are obviously still fans themselves, and they just reach out to me like, oh man, this is great, keep it going. So like he was getting that like
right,
he was getting that like influence on the outside, not just us, as regular like wrestling fans following him. He was getting it from the from the people within that in
right.
the community. So yeah, that definitely helped. And he's worked a lot hard. I mean, the other thing too is I want to ask you about this. Like, it looks easy, putting out like posting content and all that stuff, but like if you take a guy like him, he started way back in 2013, 2014, and that's it's 10 years. It took him
Right,
a while to get like where he is as far as that goes. Like,
right.
can you explain like your process on like on because obviously you said you started your page way back then. Like, what's it been like? Were there setbacks at some point where you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not
Yeah,
like
yeah. There's been a lot of times like I actually went by a different name. It was Wrestling Junkies when I first started.
oh yeah, that's right. I might have been following you forever then. If
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
Oh
So like
wow.
I had to like change things and evolve as the time went by. Because like when we first started, we're just posting pictures.
Yeah.
There wasn't video too much, and then video came, and then we started. We only had like how many seconds? Like 20, 30 seconds, or
Yeah, I was like
then
very
it went to
small.
then it went to a minute. And for a while, I did stop. I took like when my dad passed, I stopped for a while, and I stopped like for a minute. I think in like 2019, I stopped for a bit, but then like like after a while, it's like you can't just post pictures anymore. You
Yeah.
know, you need to show your face. You need to show people who you are.
Yep.
I remember Justin telling me that he's like, you gotta show your face, bro.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, like, and then I just thought about it. Like, I have all these interests, you know, and like they overlap a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really into hip hop too, but I'm into wrestling more. It's just you know, I I make hip hop and stuff like that. And then like so there's a lot of times where I'll watch a match and I'm seeing there's a tempo to it. There's a
Mm.
beat. And I'm like, I need to start posting shit like that. Like I need to
Mm.
start because there's beats in these matches and I'm hearing a song and I'm
Yep.
seeing the match and I'm like, okay, so earlier last year I started I changed my name to Gold Bars and Hooks. Or was it I got my timeline messed up. I don't know if like don't
That's fine.
I might be wrong. It might have been earlier or later. But so I changed my name to Gold Bars and Hooks. I got a new logo. Um First thing I posted was Cameron and a mashup between Cameron and Max Caster.
Okay.
Cause like, you know, they wearing pink, he wear pink, the like abrasive lyricism, just very out there,
Yep.
jarring bars. So I was like, so I posted Cameron's what is it? Get 'em Daddy remix, and then
Oh, yeah, yeah.
a picture of Max Caster. And so that was the reintroduction, and then I just started posting more regularly, and then I started getting a boost because I was stuck at 20k
Mm.
20k. So like I started seeing the boost um earlier this year actually. So I started hitting you know marks and stuff. So I finally got 50k. You
Yeah.
know, it's been 10 years and like I didn't start the page with the goal of being getting it big. I just really wanted to share it, get this energy out.
Yeah.
Like I'm just remembering all these things like, yo, y'all remember when Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior did this, or do you
Y-
remember this? Or like I'll see this funny meme like of like Triple H. The first post was a meme. It was Triple H and it was a triple threat match between Triple H, and Triple H at WrestleMania 30. That was my fantasy booking. And then I remember, you know, thinking about how like a technical wrestler wins at WrestleMania every 10 years. And
Oh,
I had
okay.
the Brett, Benoit, and Brian. But like so, like I was just really just getting the energy out, like because I was originally posting it on my personal page, and
Yeah.
my girlfriend at the time was like, "Ah, you should do a different page for that." Like nobody wants to see. I was like, "All right," and then so I just started posting. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I really just started at the right time. I got
Yeah.
really lucky. I was really on some Forrest Gump type stuff, you know, just accidentally being great, you know, like but yeah, so yeah, it's evolved, and you know, I'm gonna keep evolving. I'm gonna keep going because I really love wrestling, and I like sharing that, and I like having the community, you know, like getting able to talk to people about wrestling because you know, in the real world, there's
Yeah.
pretty much nobody, even though it's popular right now. And every now and then a coworker will say, "Hey, did you see uh, Snoop Dogg at
Yeah.
WrestleMania?" So, you know, so you know, so it's really cool. You know, it's cool the evolution that happened.
Yeah. The name Gold Bars. Where'd that come from? Gold Bars and Hooks. Like,
It's each word in that is used in hip hop and in wrestling.
oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
So
Okay.
you got the gold, you got the bars, you got the hooks. You know, so I was just
Ah,
trying to find something clever to, you know, like to say what I'm about, you know, to introduce myself. So
okay. All right. That actually makes sense because obviously, if you think about it, like the marriage between, you know, wrestling and hip hop is obviously it goes way way back in the day. Like
Right.
it's been, I mean, a lot of obviously, you've heard the stories. A lot of people are influenced off of Ric Flair. You know,
Man.
style and profile and limousine riding, jet flying, all, and he was rhyming too back then. So like,
Yeah.
and then obviously like now like the embrace he gets now is like it's
Yeah.
insane. Like I mean, it's just due in that sense. But I think would you think that like that stands with like wrestling and hip hop? Do you still it's like do you still think it's like there's that? I mean, obviously with Swerve, he's like kind of I think he's kind of like bringing it actually into like
Yeah.
wrestling. It's like obviously it's been around. You've seen glimpses of it. Obviously, Bad Bunny, if you want to throw him
Right.
in there. But like Swerve is actually like he's
Yeah.
actually bringing hip hop to wrestling with like the swerve when I drive and the dance and everything, dude. That's like it's unmatched in this sense. I think you're going to see a lot more of that. And obviously, I can't leave out Max Caster. I forget. I don't want to forget about him because he rhymes.
Oh
And
yeah.
obviously with John Cena, him
Yep.
doing that, all that type of
Was
stuff. But like, it's different with Swerve because he's a recording artist and he's
yeah.
bringing obviously like Rick Ross was on AEW at one point. You see West Side Gun
Right.
out there all the time, and obviously West Side Gun's I appreciate West Side Gun the most out of any rapper because he like lets it be known that he is a wrestling fan, right? And
Yeah.
who's gonna say anything negative to West
Right.
Side Gun
Nobody's gonna
about
say
him being a wrestling fan? So like, if you want to like, he makes it okay for like, every like if you're a hip hop fan, obviously you're a wrestling fan. He's that kind of like bridge where it's like he takes the art of it and all that stuff and
he
he put it in
samples
the
a lot of
forefront.
it too.
Yeah, yep. So what do
Yeah.
you see? Like, I think I kind of got away from the question, but do you see it
Oh,
like? Do you see it evolving more? Do you see like hip hop like being more a part of wrestling? And like,
yeah.
do you think
Yeah.
Swerve's the start of that?
Yeah. I think the thing is like there's this thing. Rappers really love wrestling.
Mm,
Rappers watch wrestling. Rappers study wrestling. They
yep.
take character traits from wrestlers. They want to be wrestlers. Like
Yeah.
like if you ever talk to one, like they'll always reference Ric Flair, of course.
Yep.
They'll reference like everybody will have a different one, but like they've always like not to say like they're not who they are, but rappers are playing a version of themselves,
Yeah. Yep.
just like wrestlers are, and they kind of they have the same kayfabe thing going on.
Yeah. True.
Like so, like it's I think eventually there's gonna be a lot more crossover. You saw Action Bronson,
Yeah.
saw
Yeah.
Rick
That's right.
Ross, like you said, and excuse me, we got to oh, and we gotta give John Cena credit too, because that dude was rapping with Merce. You know, he had Method Man
True.
with him and stuff.
Yeah.
His album with Platinum,
Yep. That's right.
uh, and that was in the for me that's the golden era when his album was out, 50 was out, Kanye was out,
Mm.
like that was just but yeah, we're gonna see a lot more of it. And Swerve is dope. That song is hard. Like
Oh my god, dude! I think I sing it. I think I sing it every day. Even like I'm just be like, and I swerve. What I just
and then
do it.
the
It's
dance and Prince Nana's I don't like that is genius. Like just seeing the visual alone, like I could show that to anybody and they're like, yo, that's cool.
yeah. Here's where I knew like how like Swerve was like over when he faced Hangman, and the
Oh
crowd
yeah.
was booing Hangman and cheering for Swerve. That's how I knew like he definitely hit something with that. Like obviously with Prince Nana out there, but like it just something you could feel something different with him. Like I feel like he did say he's probably gonna be the first black AEW World Champion, and he probably is. I think it's gonna
Yeah.
happen at some point. Like you
I
gotta
would
like
do that immediately.
Tony Khan, learn from your mistakes. Like you didn't put Jade in that position. You gotta you gotta do like that was another thing too. Like Jade should have been, maybe dual champ. Maybe she should have had the TBS as well as the like she just never they never put her in that position. And like you kind of wonder why, like what the thought process
Yeah, I don't
behind
know.
that was.
I thought that Rain and Shriek was awesome. Like I thought that was dope booking, and I thought like oh, like when she lost it, I was like, oh okay, so she's gonna. But I would, like you said, I would have had her win that and then drop the TBS. But I don't know anything. I'm not a
Yeah, I
booker.
mean, yeah, I'm not a booker. I
I
have
don't
no
know
clue.
shit.
Like,
But but like that should have happened. But yeah, Swerve, like the presentation of Swerve, like the way he just walks in, he has the coat. It's
yeah,
very, it's very Bane like. It's very, and then
yeah,
you got Prince Nana getting all the energy on the side off. Like that visual is just so cool. Like that visual works anywhere in anything. That works wrestling, hip hop, that works any movie type of thing, that works. Like that just seeing that I'm like, "Oh, this is interesting."
yeah. And I do think that like I said, I definitely think he's going to be at some point. He's going to be AEW World Champion. I think if they they do it right, I'm not sure it'll be like obviously this year, but definitely sometime soon he should be. I mean, he's probably like one of the most over people in that company right now as far as gimmicks. And in ring, obviously you can't discount that. Like one of the best in that company,
Yeah,
if
he's
not the best in that company when it comes to in ring guys and stuff like that. So hopefully gets to where he's supposed to go there, and they don't fumble with him at all,
I don't think
please.
like it would be really hard for them to mess that up. It's right there. Like it's right there.
Yeah, definitely. Another. So I kind of want to go back a little bit because you mentioned that you do stuff in hip hop. So like, what's some things that you do? Like, is there producing,
Yeah, yeah.
curating, that type of stuff?
I rap, I produce as well. Like I don't have the popular like catalog, but I have a really like deep catalog. I've produced for like a lot of cool artists out here in LA. Um and I've produced all of my stuff actually.
Okay.
Like I've been rapping since I was 14. I don't want to age
Wow.
myself too much, but yeah. So all right. So that the year when I said John C. So when I was talking about John Cena that year, Kanye, John Cena, 50, Dipset. That was my like. That was when I was 14. That was my like. All the influence was hitting me at the same time, and I was a part of a rap crew. It was like it was pretty much Dipset West. It was
Yeah.
a tribute band, and that's how we started. But as far as music goes, like my family's deep into it. My cousin has stuff with like on Nate Dogg's G Funk classics. He's
Oh
like
wow.
singing in on it. Other cousin, I had another cousin that raps. My dad was a like killer guitarist, killer songwriter. He was a part of a excuse me, some gospel quartet groups. Um, so like I grew up like with my dad. The bond that I had with my dad,
Yeah.
it was all surrounding around music and wrestling. So music, he showed me music, he showed me wrestling, and he showed me sci-fi flicks too. He showed me
Okay.
Twilight Zone. But like the main two things was music and wrestling. I remember when the first tape he got me, it was Ric Flair versus Sting, like from 80 something.
Okay.
Like the first one, the first time Sting won, 89 or 90 maybe. And then it was like I don't know if it was on the same tape. I think it was a I don't know where he got it from, but on the same tape it was Bret Hart when he first left the Hart Foundation. I can't remember who he was against, but I never forget that. But yeah, so music is basically like the family trade.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it sounds like it. Yeah, definitely. And so yeah, because that's kind of like similar to like my father. he's on that. Well, my father and my uncle, got me into wrestling. My father, he passed away in 2009. He's
Oh
been
man,
gone for
condolences.
a while, but he introduced me. He's from the South. He born in Mississippi, raised
Oh
in Arkansas. So the wrestling I grew up on that I seen first was Mid South, um, NWA, the
man,
Von Erichs, JYD, Butch Reed, Young Dusty. So I grew up on that. And obviously, his favorite wrestler obviously was JYD, Junkyard Dog.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, I even go on Peacock still and like go on and watch like the old Mid South.
That's so great, man. Because there's a lot of stuff that my dad like would tell me, like, and I was like, no, that didn't happen. I didn't believe it. Then I go, like, oh shit, he was telling the truth. Like my dad's from the South too. He's from Alabama, Selma, and
Oh,
then
okay.
he moved over to Compton with my mom in like mid '80s.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, so like his same. My dad's favorites is like Dusty, but he liked the tough, super tough, like the overkill,
Yeah.
Billy Butcher, the original Sheik, Bruiser Brody,
Yep.
Nick Bockwinkel, Austin Idol. Like nobody mentions him. Like
Awesome. Yeah. Wow.
he. My dad showed me some like I remember they had this DVD. I can't Wrestling Gold or something like that, and he's like, "Oh, they got." We were in a store, and he was like, "Oh, they got this. Oh, I got to show you this. This is stuff I'll tell you about." And he used to always brag about how like the wrestling fans back then like used to riot and stuff, and he used to always
Oh, yeah.
brag about how they banned wrestling in his city in Alabama and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's great, man. It's
Yeah. My father.
cool
Yeah.
to hear that somebody else had that same.
Oh yeah, no, like I said, it's always weird because usually when you hear what most of the people I interview are like wrestling fans stuff like that. It's always like I grew up on like Hulk Hogan or like, and it's very rare that's like that you hear somebody say like, oh no, the first thing I watched was like Mid South Wrestling. They're like, how
Yeah.
old are you? Like you got to be like in your like 60s, and I'm like no, that's what my my father, my uncle, they like they love the Von Erichs, they loved all the
Yeah.
Southern wrestling, and then obviously I got into WWF. But no, I like I said, I grew up on like and just seeing like the powerhouse that like Junkyard Dog was before he went into the WWF, like in the 70s, early 80s. He was like obviously he was jacked, he was huge,
Yeah.
way over like he was like obviously they equaled his like his popularity with Hulk Hogan. Like if they put him in the right position in the WWF, he probably could have been like probably the champion at that point. But he
Did
was
he even
he
get
was
an IC title? Did he ever get
I
that?
don't even know if he won the IC title.
Wow.
He faced Ric Flair for the World Heavyweight Championship, but lost that. But that was like when he was like way late in his he was like
Yeah.
kind of overweight, not really like it's not well, he wasn't the Junkyard Dog of the old. But like I just remember like watching those matches and stuff like that. I always watch one. It's on Peacock. It's he's facing Butch Reed, and Dusty Rhodes is actually the special guest referee in that match. And it's like it's just seeing those guys like move the way they did, like they had very athletic, just power and speed, like just guys that size. You think like nowadays you see a big jack dude like run around the ring and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's nothing. I didn't know it was like that back then either. Like it's like
Yeah.
you see
But
like
those dudes are football players.
yeah, you would think they were
Most
slow and like just throwing punches, but no, these dudes are like flying all over the ring, drop kicks. Like Dusty, like there was a pin that he did at one of the, I think it was towards the end of the match. Like he like flies across them, lands on the mat, does a 1-2. Like
oh yeah.
it's just crazy. Like it just like you think you think you see athletes now and they evolved and they're nowadays they're a lot more faster, stronger,
Nothing
but
new.
they were like that back then. Like they were moving around the same way. It's
Yeah.
like
I saw a clip of Stan Hansen diving through the ropes.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, what the
They didn't do it a lot, but you do like if you watch those old matches, you do see stuff that you see now that they were doing back then, but they weren't really, it wasn't like they weren't like it wasn't a spot fest. Essentially, it's more or
Yeah,
less,
yeah.
it was like it was like a time when like men were men and they were just like always like brawling or fighting. But yeah, I just remember with JYD like yeah, I mean, your father probably told like you said, it was like the fans are like like were trying to stab people. They were trying to like send in death threats. Like they like there's towns that like some heels couldn't go to because of what they did to like the baby face the previous week or something like
Oh
that. They would
man,
have to like walk through with security. I remember I think Roddy Piper said he used to carry a gun. And sometimes like when he was walking through the
yeah.
crowd with like security, he'd have a gun on him, like in his leather jacket that he just in case someone tried
Yeah,
to like
I
stab.
couldn't believe that stuff my dad was telling me. Like they said, the whole town of Alabama had the whole state of Alabama had beef with Roddy and Ric Flair
Yeah.
when they came through. I was like, really?
Yeah, they weren't
Like my
yeah.
dad used to tell me these things, and they used to sound so fantastical, and I was like, there's no way this is true. And it's all true. Like,
It was crazy. It was like gangster territories. It was like,
yeah,
yeah, you're not allowed in this territory. You can't even come here. That type of it wasn't even that. Sometimes obviously it was kayfabe, but it was mainly fans. They didn't want like the fans hurting any of the wrestlers like because they were jumping over guardrails. They would like wait for him
yeah.
after the show and try to like attack him there and stuff
My
like that.
uncle
But
was one of those guys, and he got beat up. Like he's one of those guys. This is they use the F word. Like, I could beat him up easily. He's a tall, big, buff guy.
yeah.
And my dad said that they let him come on in. He never said anything bad about wrestling ever again. And actually, when I used to visit him, like when I was young, he used to put my older cousins in the figure four. Like he's the crazy uncle. Uncle,
Yeah, what do you
Uncle.
call it? What was this? I just read a thing. They interviewed Tyson Fury, the boxer, recently, and they
Oh
asked him
yeah,
like, because he's done stuff in WWE, and he
that's
said
right.
he was like I would he was like I want to do it. He's like, but he was like boxing's way easier. He's like I can't. He's like the stuff that the that those guys do over there, the girls, they like. He's like I can't do that to my body. He's like it's too much abuse on the body. And it's like, he's like, they're like high class athletes over there. He's like, he's like like he said, he respects it, but he said, I
Yeah.
can't do it. And a lot of people that happens. If you
But-
see like a lot of like football players, like, yeah, I could get in there. Like they get into the performance center, they try out, and then they end up quitting, which is it's not an easy thing to do. I hit ropes once because one of my
oh man,
buddies, for his bachelor party, we went to like a wrestling. I live in Massachusetts, and there's like obviously tons of wrestling schools. Right, we went to New Hampshire, and he wanted to do like just like a wrestling class or whatever. Yeah, it's on. No, that shit hurts, dude. Like,
I want to do it once. I'm hoping one day I get to hit the ropes. Like I got just for one time. I just
yeah, I
want to
seen
see.
that you did like I seen that you did stuff. Did you do stuff with like PC?
Yeah,
Also,
yeah,
was it
yeah. I go out to the shows. They invite me out. Like they've invited me out. Like I think this will be the fourth show this next week.
okay?
So like I'm really cool with them. So like they invite me out. So one day I'm a just because I'm a very chill, laid back. I don't really like try to push issue about anything. But one day I'm gonna be like, hey, can I just get in the ring and run?
They might. Hey, they might ask you to get involved. I interviewed heel Liz. If you follow her
Oh
on
yeah, I
Instagram,
follow her.
yeah, she does a lot. She does a lot of stuff around there in the SoCal area. So she does a lot of that stuff, and she's done announcing. She's done a lot of that stuff. I asked her about it. There's videos. There was a recent video of her taking like the light tubes to
Oh,
somebody, like she like smashed light tubes over someone's head. They asked her to do, or they're just like, hey, you want to do this? She was like, yeah. And she just went in there and did it. So like, you never know. You might get the call up. It might be a part of one of the
I'll be on
matches.
the
Who knows?
roster.
Would you ever consider doing anything like that? Like, they invite you to the shows, but if they were just like, hey, do you want to be involved with an angle, or
I would be
would
hella
you consider
nervous,
doing it?
but yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
I
yeah.
heard. Yeah, what do I heard like once you get in there, like step through the ropes, like, and you see like the people or like the crowd, it's just like it's insane. You just like they said you just catch a bug, like you just want to like do it like all the time. That's what I've heard anyway. I haven't been a part of that yet, but yeah, I interviewed, like I said, Hail Liz, and I interviewed. There's another guy that's on the Turnbuckle Tavern called Acefield Retro. He does like a lot of announce work for a lot of the local indie shows in his area and stuff like that. He said, once I stepped through the ropes, he was like, it was just like you just want to like be a part of it. Like it's just like
Man.
obviously you're a fan, but he's like when you actually get to be like a part of some type of like organization. It's like he said, it's crazy. You just want to like do it all the time, and
Yeah,
but
and it's crazy because like you get see, all right, because seeing it live is just so much more intense. It feels different than on TV. Like it's
yeah, yep,
like when you see it on TV, it's like okay, okay. But then when you see, I remember we went to Raw 2014. Bray Wyatt, Rey Mysterio ran into Bray. Bray hit him with the Sister Abigail.
yeah.
Live murder. It was a murder. We were all like, "Oh my god, he just killed Rey Mysterio." Then we watch it on TV. I think the cameras tell too much, man.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely, especially with local shows. I started getting more into the like local wrestling shows. Like
Yeah,
there, it's just the environment. Obviously, it's a lot more interactive because it's a smaller crowd and stuff like that,
yeah,
which I appreciate. But I mean, those shows are just as good as like anything
yeah.
I watch on
Oh
TV. Like
yeah,
and you actually see it in person and stuff like that. Obviously, they're not like you know they're not like superstars or anything like that, but the guys and girls there, they put on a lot of they do the same work, man. It's
yeah.
very good, awesome to watch.
And you could like, there's legit stars. Like it's like you see, like you could just tell, even if you don't know their names or anything. This is your
Yeah.
first time. It's like I remember the first time I saw the Samoan Werewolf.
Ooh, yeah.
Man, I was like, what? What? I saw him versus Moose. Him and Moose go at it. And I was like, oh, excuse me. Yo, like this is insane. Like this guy is amazing. Like what the hell? Like
Yep.
this is mind blowing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I seen Carmelo Hayes. He's from my area.
man.
He's built from Worcester, Massachusetts. I seen him when he was Christian. His name was Christian Casanova when he was around here. But yeah, I seen him a few years ago, and then I was watching NXT. Then I was like, holy crap! I was like, that dude looks familiar. So I think I seen that dude like in the Indies, like
Yeah.
locally. And then he wrestled at we have a company called Chaotic Wrestling around here.
Okay, dope.
He wrestled there. Um, and there was some other it was like I think it's like Boston Wrestling Federation, BWF or something like that. He wrestled that as well. So I seen him. I seen him a few times, and then when NXT 2.0 came out and all that stuff, and then I seen him pop up. I was like, wow, that guy looks really familiar. And then I'm like watching it week to week, and I'm like, holy crap! I was like, that's a dude. I was like, oh, that's Christian Casanova. I was like, that's it. I was like, I've seen him a few times. I was like, holy shit, he actually made it. And now look at him. And I totally forgot to actually talk about when we were talking about like black athletes and black wrestlers.
Yeah.
How can we forget
It's just, I mean,
Carmelo
it's just
Hayes,
so
man?
much greatnght now. Like it's just so
Oh,
much.
the
Like, cause
Profits, Bobby
yeah, we
Lashley.
forgot.
Like
We
we like
forgot.
totally forgot. Like
Yeah.
like now it's all starting to come to me. Like even Trick.
Oh yeah.
Look that Trick, dude. Like I think he's gonna be one of the big he's gonna be he looks like the type of person like when he hits the main roster that he'll like not that he'll be bigger than Carmelo, but like he might be the one that they choose over Carmelo. For me anyway, that's I mean he just has that look, dude, that they go for.
Yeah.
He's like a young Booker T pretty much, the way he moves.
Yeah.
I think Booker T's working with him too, man, for
Oh
some
no.
reason. When he
Booker
throws the ad libs, what? Yeah.
Booker
He
T
throws
is
the ad
amazing,
libs to his
man.
music. Oh man.
Booker T is
With the
amazing.
whoop that trick. That like it's insane, man. Like I could talk about that stuff all day, but I want to get to like the music stuff because like who have you worked with as far as music goes? So you said you like obviously you produce for yourself. Do you produce for others
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all?
I've worked. The most notable name that I've worked with is Il Camille and Damani.
Okay.
They're like they they're like really they're like feared and respected in LA. Like they're like really great hip hop artists, and they've worked on some of the great hip hop albums and worked with everybody.
Yeah.
Il Camille worked on both To Pimp a Butterfly and on Good Kid, Mad
Oh,
City.
okay, yeah.
And Damani is from he's from that other era, like that in between era before Game came out. So he's worked with
Okay.
Dre, all that stuff. He's the guy that all the NBA players go to when they come to LA. Like that's who he is. Like, and like if you like search them, you'll see like, oh, okay, they're dope. They're dope. But yeah, that's the most notable. I haven't hit anything mainstream at all just yet. But like I've done a lot of stuff for a lot of talents that are brewing up, like
Yeah.
E-Rock, the Menace. Like he's got a like cult following, literally. Like he's really dope. FYI, let me see. El Prez, that's another big LA standard. So it's I don't like calling it underground, but because of the negative connotation that it has with that.
Yeah.
Just but it's like just underground hip hop mostly, and
Yep.
nothing. But I'm working. That's the only thing I haven't done as far as music. I haven't produced anything that made to Billboard pop charts, anything like that, or has gotten. I've worked on something that had a consideration for Grammy, but that's not the
Yeah.
same. But
Okay. Well.
nothing that's
Okay.
not for a Grammy.
Is
Nothing not.
it okay? Is it something that you think you want to pursue at some point? Like going like like do you want to try to get into like more production, work with we'll say just so like Kendrick Lamar or like a game or anything like that. Maybe even Snoop, something like that. Is that something that you're like looking
Yeah,
to do at some
yeah,
point?
definitely. I've worked on a lot of stuff that didn't come out, that didn't make the cuts and stuff.
Yeah,
So like, it's like you got to get really, really. Of course, you got to be talented and you got to work hard, but you got to get really, really lucky. Just timing
yeah,
is everything. So, but yeah, I definitely want to get on something, like that, just to knock it off the list. It's the last thing, literally the last thing on the list. I'm just trying to get to it. Like,
um, man. While we're on the subjects, I never obviously I don't really bring the hip hop subject up, but like what what's your favorite type of hip? Obviously, hip hop is a broad spectrum. There's tons of
right.
different styles, different lyricists, different type of different everything, different genres. Like, what is your type of hip hop music? Is it lyricism? Is it storytelling? Is it like kind of like
Excuse me.
pop hip hop? Like,
Um,
what
I
do you
like
like listen
I
to?
like a little bit of everything.
Okay,
Like, is when you make stuff, you're kind of more of a like super fan than anything.
yeah, yeah,
So
you have a
like
different
kind
ear
of
to
kind
the
of reaching for everything, and like my fate all right, the first rapper that I listened to on my own, that I saw on my own, and I was like, I like that rapper. That's cool. I want to do that. I want to see that. I want to hear more of it. It was Kanye West, and
okay,
he has a very broad. He could get lyrical. He could get very pop. He could
yep,
have the stories. The production is like the core, and I also like. Yeah, I mean, he's not really hip hop only, but
yeah,
for real, I love for real. Like Kanye and
Pharrell,
Pharrell are like but then also love Dipset and 50 Cent. You know,
okay,
so Dipset was a little more like after a while they were big. Like Cameron would like play around a lot, but it's still heavy like
yeah.
lyricism.
Yeah. There's plenty of memes of or videos of people, you know, copying Cameron and doing his like style.
It's
It's-
that. See, Cameron's a wrestler, dude. I'm telling you, like Cameron would be the best, one of the best wrestlers. Like the
Dude,
nonchalant attitude and everything. Like,
oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, he'd definitely be like that, like kind of like a Ric Flair type, like,
yeah,
just like, I'm the he I mean, he said it himself, like he's just flying, like he can say whatever he wants in a rap and people will listen. Like that video that's been circulating around even a little bit more was he was on Rap City in the basement when he's freestyling, he's counting the money
Oh
while he's
yeah.
freestyling. Have you seen that? Like who does that? Who
My
counts money
favorite,
while they're like,
like in my favorite lyric, not from that song, but he did another freestyle and he said, "I don't even like to rhyme, but I love this life of mine."
yeah,
Like what? That was the first like rapper I ever heard say like I don't care about rapping. Like what kind of that
yeah.
is the biggest heel move ever. like,
Like I just do this because I can do it. I'm really good at it.
like
I don't even really need to do. I don't even like doing this. That's like, yeah, that's definitely a lot of his content stuff like that. Um, with me, like who do you look at now? Like who you listening to now as far as you know as far as hip hop is concerned? Obviously, it's a lot. A
yeah,
lot has
it's a lot
changed in the
out there.
past 10 years or
Yeah,
so. Hip hop's a little bit different. Everyone has to each his own when it comes
right.
to hip hop. Or like, what are you listening to? Like the newer style stuff? Are you still like forget it? I'm not listening to this stuff. I'm
I'm
gonna
s-
still
I
dig
have
in the
my
crates.
playlist. I have my playlist. So like I'm doing my, I have my playlist with my early 2000s stuff. But then like, anytime Drake or Kendrick drops,
Oh, of
I'm gonna
course, yeah,
listen.
yep,
Cole, like it's so weird because I've never been like a big Cole fan, but that recent freestyle he just put
he's been
out,
on a run, dude. He's been all his guest verses have
man,
been like ridiculous, especially
yeah,
with the first person shooter with the
oh yeah,
him and Drake.
oh
Just
man, he killed that.
yeah,
He killed it. He murdered that. And excuse me. I'm trying like excuse me. Dang, I just got over a cold and the cough is
oh no,
just
that's fine.
um like the Migo like Offset. I listened to his new thing, his new album.
Oh yeah,
Um
his album's good.
I'm trying to think of any of the younger guys. Oh, Childish Gambino.
Yep.
Um but the younger guys like Lil Durk and stuff. Like I'm this year I've been off of it. Last year I kept up, but
Yeah.
this year I've been more so listening without the established guys. I've been listening more melodic music, R&B and stuff.
Okay.
But but yeah, I like rap. I'm not the one to get into the debates of like choosing, which
Yeah.
one,
Who's the
what type
best? Who's
is,
this? Who's that? Yeah.
like oh, this generation sucks because
Yeah. Yeah.
of course I'm gonna think my generation is the best. Like, of
Yeah.
course, like that's when I was a teenager going to the mall and stuff and trying to
Yep.
dress like those guys. So the younger guys, of course, don't always. They're not always gonna appeal to our age group.
Yeah. It yeah. And here's what I don't like too, like with hip hop, especially like, like the older guys are like, oh, the new rappers nowadays, they're not lyricism, they're not
Right.
lyrics or whatever, but like they're not searching for those. There
Yeah,
are
like Jid and
The whole Griselda camp.
Zelda. Oh yeah, Griselda.
Literally the whole
I just
Griselda,
listened
West
to
Side Gun,
Pray
Conway,
for
Benny the Butcher. Come on, Benny the
Me.
Butcher, all those like SD Mac who they just put on, or
Right.
West Side Gun just did that. Like, does who else? He's escaping. I forget. There's a couple. I mean,
It's so-
literally that whole camp. Like, you're just not looking. If you're looking for like, if you're like, oh, I'm just gonna listen to like 90s hip hop because that's when it was like. No, there are people today that rap. Like, if you want to hear new artists that rap like the way you like, then
yeah,
just listen
they're
to
there.
like it's like Griselda. I've been back to getting listening to Ransom. He's from New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
He was like with Fabulous and Joe Budden back in the day. But like he's been on a crazy run with Nick. Is it Nick Craven? Yeah, Nick Craven, the producer. Like
Okay.
he has a series of like it's called the Director's Cut series, and it's like
I gotta look
it's like
that up.
obviously like the soul samples, like that type of rap. But like if you want to listen to that type of rap, it's out there to listen to. Like it's just being laziness if you just go, oh, I'm not going to listen to
Yeah.
Lil Yachty, or I'm not going to listen to Lil Uzi Vert. No, that's stupid. Like,
Right.
but you're not doing your due diligence. If you're a real music fan, you'll go out there and search for the music.
And it's crazy because you hear those same arguments from certain camps in wrestling too. Like they say, "Oh, this is groupie wrestling."
Yeah, back in my day.
All that flipping. So you know,
From
I
the
mean, everybody's
yeah,
entitled to their opinion. Like
yeah,
everybody's gonna be biased to the era when they were like in it or growing up on it. They're
yep,
gonna be you just have because you have all those memories attached to it,
yeah,
and
yeah,
those are
yep.
things that influenced you. So
Yeah, no, that is very true. I didn't even think about it that way. And I always use Eric Bischoff. He has like a he made a reference to like wrestling being like a buffet. Like you pick and
yeah,
choose what you like to eat. Like for wrestling, there's everything. Like everything is in wrestling. You just pick and choose what you like. You don't have to with a buffet. You're not forcing the person next to you that's picking their food. You're not forcing them to eat what you're eating. They're picking what they like to, they like to eat. You're picking what you like to eat. He said in wrestling's the same way. You might not like the flippy wrestling. You
yeah,
might be more of a technical guy. There's technical wrestling out there for you to watch. You don't have to watch every single aspect of the show. If you like hardcore wrestling or death matches and stuff like that,
oh yeah,
there's companies at GCW you can watch. Sometimes AEW puts on, well, pretty much all the time they do those matches. But like, if you like that wrestling, there's something for you. You don't have to like force your opinions on everybody. And I actually want to let's get to that because I want to get to like that. One of the topics I sent you was like about like social media influencing and all that stuff because
yeah, yeah.
that's a part of it. Like, because you can kind of like with your following, you can kind of influence how people react to certain wrestlers. And so, not saying that you like, you go out there and like you should like this instead, but like
Yeah.
you post like the clips you post. Like what I like about your page is you post like a wide array of like different things, like old school stuff, new school stuff. Like how do you feel about like being like that type of? Do you first of all do you think that you are like? Would you call yourself like an influencer or
I
as far as
don't
that goes?
know. I don't know. I mean, like, I guess I am. I don't know. I think so. I just don't be, because like I'm just so like I'm aware of what's going on, but I'm just so like, oh, this looks cool.
Yeah,
Let me save that. Let me say like, I'm just watching a bunch of stuff and like taking clips and posting them. So like I don't
yeah,
think it's like like because I feel like the page is there to help me. It's selfish.
yeah, yep,
Like I feel like I'm posting it for me, like, and I'm posting it because I want to show people like this is really cool. Like, cause I'm that type of person. Like, if I see something that's cool and I like, I'm like excited. Yo, did you hear? Like, I remember when I first saw Bullet Club.
mm,
I saw like when the Young Bucks first joined. Kenny wasn't the leader yet.
yeah. Was Finn still a
AJ,
part of it?
yeah, AJ was the leader, and I
Okay,
saw a picture and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then I go research it, and then I see Prince Devitt, and I'm like, "What the?" And then like I'm trying to I'm trying to like wait, okay, who's in it now? And like because it New Japan wasn't accessible back then.
yeah,
I remember I got so excited, and I was going over to my friend Warren's house, and I was like, "Yo, y'all got to see this." And I like trying to find a good clip, and I just couldn't find the right one. And it was just a promo they did. It was like kind of like a precursor to being the elite, and like the Young Bucks was like being goofy and snarky, and then
yeah,
everybody
yeah, yep,
was there, and they was like, "I don't know." And I was like, "What? You don't like it?" And like I just get excited about this, just want to share it. So like I guess in that sense I am an influencer because I'm always looking for stuff to share with other people and you know that I get excited about. But yeah, I guess so. I never
yeah.
thought about it like
Yeah,
that.
no, it's like I said, your page is like good because it like kind of covers the gamut of like wrestling. It's not like you're not fixated on one like aspect of it. Obviously, you'll have like some people just only focus on this. Like it's just old school wrestling, or
Yeah,
it's attitude era wrestling or ruthless aggression. Like you kind of like show everything, which is because I'll
yeah.
be like scrolling out, like I'll see like a cool clip that I never seen before. Like it might be like Vader fighting
Oh yeah.
somebody in New Japan and shit like that. I'm like, oh shit, this is like I was like, and then I'll have to go research it and go look it up and be like, oh man, I'm obviously like I only watch it because Vader, whoever he fights, he was just beating the shit out of them. Like he's just like
Oh,
he's
boom.
like he was what match was that? I think was it you that posted it? or maybe I follow so many wrestling things. There's a clip of him and Yokozuna.
Oh yeah,
It's
I'll
a
post it.
one-on-one match. Oh my
Post
god, dude! They were beating they were throwing hammers, dude. They were like, it looked like they were really hitting each other. Like they were like letting
it.
loose on that. I was like, what? Like and that like got me excited. I was like, cool. I was like, wow, this is a. I was like, I kind of sort of remember that watching that match, but like, and that's another reason why I love your page is like I'll remember like I'll see things that I remember like from like way back in the day,
Right.
and I'll just like it'll just come back to me like, oh my god, I forgot about that this happened, and like you get like you said, you get the excitement from it and stuff like that. So like
Yeah.
the excitement you're getting posting it, just know that like if someone is following you and they're scrolling, they're getting the same
Right.
excitement if they
Yeah.
they did experience that, or it might be something new. Because when I seen that like I'm a huge I love Vader and I love that like era when they were together at like at Raw and all that stuff and
Yeah. The new
and when they met at
generation.
Royal Rumble they they had that like that showdown
Yeah.
at Royal Rumble and stuff like that. So I'm a huge fan of like when Yoko and Vader got together. But yeah, that clip was like I was like, holy shit. And then there was another clip. I'm not sure if it was you, but it was I think it was like Stone Cold versus Vader.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he actually
I posted
yeah,
that recently.
yeah, and he actually talks about that because he said, Vader hit him like hard. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, all right. So like if you watch that match, they're throwing like as they call
Yeah,
it
because I'm
potatoes. They're
seeing the
just
way
like
he's squaring up and throwing the punches back. I'm like,
yeah.
whoa, he's really.
Vader had hands, dude. That was
Yeah.
that's one of the things that people forgot. Like they always said he was like the nicest guy, like behind the scenes, but in the ring, that dude had hands, man. He wasn't he left it all in the ring pretty much. He didn't bring that, that persona outside of the ring. But man, yeah, I could talk about wrestling all day. But anyway, let's I kind of want to skip back because I forgot to ask you something about like your when you produce like your what is your obviously you don't have to give away the trade secrets, but like what does your process look like? Like what is it what do you think about when you're going into creating music? Like obviously there's there's the influences that pop in and like you said, like there might be Kanye, it might be Pharrell, you might hear something. And like you said, when you're watching wrestling, you see something, you see like a flow to it and stuff like that. Is it similar to that or is it a different process?
Yeah, it's similar because for me, a lot of my creative moments comes. It feels like it's being put into my head,
Yeah.
not necessarily
Okay.
me taking it out of my head and making it real. Because like it's like I'll like hear something that's a melody like or something, and I'm like, I know this is a song already.
Yep.
This has to be a song already, and I'll go search for it. And sometimes I don't see it, and then I attempt to make it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like successful, sometimes I'm not, and then sometimes I hear it, and then it is a song, and I'll sample it. I could sample it, or like replay the chord structure and all that stuff. But I'm kind of like I create a lot of stuff, but it's all like it's just I'm hearing it. I'm hearing something already. I'm hearing something, and then I lay it down. Like sometimes it'll be a phrase, like I'm mumbling something. So like it's very weird. Like if you were ever to be in the studio with me, you would be like, "What the hell does this guy even do?" For the longest, I will just be sitting around. Like if we didn't have something already created, because a lot of times when you go in the studio, you already have the meat of something created because
Yeah.
we're on our laptops now. But like it's watching, like we'll be watching wrestling or watching a movie, and I'll be like, oh, like it'll pop
There's a
up.
bit that's crazy to think that you can watch like a wrestling match and be like and just think of like, oh man, that's something I could create something off of that. That's like
Yeah, Matt Sounds. That's a
okay.
crazy thing with me. Like WCW's Matt Sound, New Generation era WWE Matt Sound, New Japan's Matt Sound. Like New Japan's whole broadcast sound like it's
Yeah.
crazy. I remember my first time watching New Japan, it was one of the Kato versus Kenny Omega, and the announcer was like Kenny Omega, and like I record, excuse me, I recorded it and sampled it. I made a song called Bullet Club, just off of that whole
Wow.
thing, the Okada versus Kenny Omega, and like I don't know, it's weird. It's really weird. It's not as cool as it sounds. Like I think I'm not trying. It does. It's not cool. It's not really cool at all. It's just something that happens that occurs, and like that's how I get off. Like like I'm also like very like we like how I'll remember a wrestling match and then go find it.
Yeah.
I'll remember a song. Like so sometimes I'll have the song. Somebody will have a song playing already. Like they'll have it like a song structure and stuff, and I would remember. Oh yeah, this drum loop from this record over here goes with that. It's,
Yeah.
it's,
Okay.
it's just it's just being it's just like being in a library, and you just everything is everywhere, and you could just pull from. And that's since all right, so like my dad is a traditional musician, like he plays instruments.
Yeah.
I got in the way I got into music, because when he was trying to get me into music, like I took piano lessons and stuff. He wanted to get me to learn the bass guitar stuff. Like
Yeah.
I know my way around the piano, but like when I heard Kanye and samples and the sampling, the sample based music, like that's what I was like, what did he use for that? It's just intriguing. And my dad be like, oh, that's this, oh, that's that record. And then I heard Dilla, and then I heard Ninth Wonder,
Okay.
Pete Rock, like so, like it's just that's it's like even when you don't sample a song, you're still sampling because there's only so many chords, there's only so many notes.
Okay.
So the ideas have already been made. So I'm just doing my own little version of it, pretty much.
Hmm.
I know that
Yeah.
was like just a big circle rant.
No. That's cool because I remember I forget the name of the show. It was like a series they used to do on like YouTube where like they would like they would have like a producer, like it might be like Alchemist or Ninth Wonder or one of those guys, and they would like go into like a record store and have them randomly
Oh,
pick
I know what you're talking about.
beat like records and then make a beat off of whatever
Yeah,
the record was. Like I love watching stuff like that, and also like the if you watch the Kanye West the Genius documentary that they had, the
oh
series that
yeah,
they had on Netflix, like that like I understand, like I kind of understand what you're saying, but like even he explained like it's like you said, you're not like taking, you're not outputting it. It's just it's like you said, it's coming to you and then it's happening. That's how
yeah,
like he said like he could see sounds. That's what he was saying. Like he could see
yeah,
like they were like colors almost like they were like that's hard to like even fathom that he that he can,
yeah,
but that's
yeah,
how he makes his beats. Like he could like he actually visually sees them in colors, and that's how he puts them together. And even that like watching him with there's a scene in there when I think he shows Pharrell. I think it was through the wire the first time. It was like early
yeah,
2000s, and Pharrell like he's like because he's rapping like obviously through the wire jaw, and then like Pharrell gets up and like he just walks out. He's just like he's like, I quit. I'm done. He's like, I'm out. And he just like, yeah, he literally leaves the studio, like walks down the hallway, almost into the lobby, and then like the camera's following him. The documentary guy that's following.
yeah,
He's like, I'm done. I can't. He's like, I don't even know. I don't even know what to do. He's like, I had never heard anything like that before in my life. Like, just like that type of stuff is like that stuff's fascinating to me. And like Timbaland too, as well. Like watching
oh yeah,
like his process. Him like obviously he uses like a lot of like mouth sounds like to make his beats. Like he'll just be like, ooh, and he'll take that and like put it in a beat, and that it'll become like that's insane to me. It's crazy. Just thinking
yeah,
of that like type of process. Like you said, it does sound crazy, but to me that's fascinating that you can actually like pull something like that. Just be sitting there humming or you know see something on the see something like see a picture on the wall and be like and it turns into like some type of like music to you, which is crazy
yeah.
to me.
Because I was just putting something together before, like all day today. It started last night, but like in this morning when I went on my walk, I finally heard the right melody that goes over. It was just like, oh man, like because I'm like something's missing.
Yeah.
Hits you like you can't. It's like you have no freaking control, and you feel like an imposter. You just feel like, oh, I'm not good at this for real, because and then like, oh, what if I'm in a situation where They want me to make something on the spot, but it always works out. Like it's intense. It's a
Yeah.
high anxiety.
Man, there was the other cool thing too, because on what game was it? Oh, Spider-Man, the Miles Morales game on
Oh
PlayStation.
yeah, I gotta
Like,
play. I got it. I ain't played.
so there's a it's like side missions you can do where it's his uncle. It's like videotapes of his uncle like talking about Miles and his father. When they were younger, they would make like beats and stuff like that. And like the side missions are you have to go to different locations throughout New York. And like he explained it like we would listen to sounds of the street. So you have to like
Oh yeah,
you'd have to go to like a certain part of this and find this like and try to match up the sound that they were listening to. It might be like a boat, not even a boat, like like maybe like a boat like with the horn like like it might be something like that. You like record
yeah.
that, and then like it might be pigeons. You might have to go to the park and like listen to pigeons,
Right.
like listen to that stuff. And it might be something where you go to like a church and hear the bell from a church, and then like at the end of the mission, the side mission, you take all those sounds and go back and like he makes like a beat with all the like the city sounds and stuff like that. So like I kind
Oh,
of get what you're talking about. Like it's like because they don't sound like anything. Like a
yeah,
pigeon.
I mean, but, all right. Have you ever been in your car and you have your door open or your seatbelt?
Oh yeah, the
you hear that?
boom, boom. Yeah, that yeah.
All that's in tune. It's tuned to a certain key. All
Yeah.
that's on the metronome. All that's so it's on a certain like so.
It's true.
Every freaking thing in this world, like every sound, like my fan is going on right now. Like it's at a certain beat, like
That's insane.
everything is music, like everything.
That's crazy to think.
I don't. What song was that where they sampled the kitchen burner? It was like,
Oh yeah. Oh, what the hell was that?
what is that? I forgot. I think it's Mob Deep. I think so. I think it's Mob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shook Ones, right?
Quick ones. There we go.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Dun, dun. Underrated producer. That's another guy that Havoc. Another underrated, very underrated producer. Like, go back and listen to some Havoc instrumentals.
Jesus.
Insane. But damn,
yeah.
wow. Yeah, now I'm thinking of that. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even think of that obviously the it's that Southern group. What the hell are they called? Is it that some cut with the bed spring?
Yeah.
Like who would think of that? That's like a bed spring.
It'd be so freaking obvious. Like musicians, artists, and producers overthink the biggest overthinkers, and the answers are right there.
Yeah, like
so
oh man.
Like
what was that? What was that? So the 50 Cent on Get Rich or Die Trying, where it's the gun.
Oh,
the gun, the whole beat. Like who has no one did that before? Who didn't? That's never been a beat, and they just come along and make that that's insane.
That was hard.
That's another one. Man, I could talk about like music all day. Like the RZA, one of my favorite producers. Like, man,
excuse me.
Just like Supreme Clientele, Ghostface Kill, like that album, like you just listen to that, like that's like RZA at his finest with the record scratch beat, and they're rapping over a record scratch. It's not even crazy.
Even the beats on ODB's first album,
oh my god, man,
Return of the 36. Like I was listening to one that I always slept on, that I always skipped. I can't remember what is it called. Hold on, let me go to it.
Let me run it down. Is it Rawhide? No,
no, not Rawhide.
Damage. I grab the mic and I will damage.
It's the one where he's like, somewhere.
Is it Sweet Sugar? Is it Sweet Sugar Pie?
Yeah, and his wife is in there cussing him out.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh, I know what song you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it. But
pump are going down.
I think it's going down. Yeah. Don't you know that? That sample.
Yeah,
that's like
he starts. Remember when he was a kid? He used to go like,
yeah. Oh yeah. That's it. Yeah. When you can you go, yeah, that like yeah that whole that album's crazy too. Like the
Yeah.
production on that is man ahead of its time too. Definitely with like the samples and the oh man, I might have to go back and listen to that. That's one of my favorite albums. Is Return to the 36 Chambers. The dirty
Yeah,
version is classic. But that's a
that
not
shit's
to get back on hip hop, but that's like something that like we're kind of missing with hip hop is the fun, the fun aspect,
yeah,
like the not
yeah,
taking
yeah,
yourself
yeah.
too seriously. Hip hop. It's like nowadays it's more like you got to be like getting money and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's always been like that with hip
Is
hop, but like
I'm not a fan of the savage murder rap. Like
yeah, like
be a
I
little
mean,
funny, and then I realized, and then like I used to laugh at it, and then I realized, oh, they talk about somebody that really got killed.
a lot of the kids today that are rapping are actually talking about someone that that they actually killed. Probably that's the reality of it too. But
Yeah,
like, yeah, we're missing like the like ODB. That was like the like that type of artist where it's like you just come out, you're not taking yourself seriously, but you're still dope. Like you still like you can still. I
he had
mean,
a
he was
unique
singing
voice.
back then. Like he was doing like he could rap, he could sing, he could
And
freestyle. He was like
his voice was just so gritty and like heavy. Like
it
it
was
was,
different. It was like, and
oh
I think that's what I think that's what we're missing, like the fun aspect of hip hop.
yeah,
Just like it's not serious. It's you just go out, make your music, have fun with it, but like
yeah.
you
That's what
know,
it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. I think that's definitely something that's lost on all sides of the
yeah,
spectrum.
that is very true. It's like everyone has to be hard. Everyone has to be like the killer, the businessman and stuff like that. You don't have. I mean, that's why I loved Nas and his like the not even a trilogy. He did 6 albums like in the past like
Oh
20 years,
yeah,
but
Hit
like
Boy.
that whole like he brought back like the fun side of hip hop, like the
Yeah,
you know
he
he's
did
kind
it.
of like that like bridge. It seems like between for me anyway, between like the new generation and the old generation, because he's obviously doing like on his albums, he's doing songs with like a lot of the younger guys as well.
Yeah,
So like he's the one that's like bringing that like for me brought the fun back to like
yeah.
hip hop, like
Oh,
just
did you
rhyming,
have
just
you
rapping. It's
have you heard that song Baby Keem and Kendrick where they rap over like it was like a pseudo house beat.
yes, yeah. I know what you're talking
That
about.
was fun. They was
Yeah,
having fun. They was
see,
having fun.
that's what I meant. Like I like his is it Baby Keem, right? Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Baby Keem.
like hit like when they when they do songs together, it's like he sounds like he's having fun. Like it's just like
Yeah,
they're just like obviously you can hear the influences off of each other when they're rhyming and stuff like that. But like that's like type of hip hop I think we're missing. Hopefully it will come back around at some point and
yeah,
we'll get that one individual that just comes out and it's just like kind of like an ODB, just like you
yeah,
can still have fun. You don't have to be the killer, but obviously if it comes down to it, things need to get done. Like that's why I kind of like that Young Thug too.
oh yeah.
He was kind of
Yeah.
like that like kind of like ODB ish type of thing, but obviously he's a little bit more serious with his
Man,
with his
with
with his
when
comments.
Lifestyle came out, that was with him and Rich Homie Quan.
Oh my god, dude, yeah,
That was awesome. Man.
yeah. Oh my god, dude.
I didn't know what they were saying, but I was like, oh, this is hard. I like this.
Oh man, dude.
He's
Man, yeah, I could talk. Oh man, I was actually I wanted to bring something up too because I totally forgot. It was
oh yeah, go.
$1 million worth of game. Gilly and Wallow and all that stuff. They had who was it? The producer, and he did like the beat in like 2 seconds. Because that's why I kind of brought up uh that reason why what's your process look like when it comes to like making records and stuff like that. Um, who is it? Metro, yeah, Metro Boomin. That's who they
Oh,
had
Metro
on.
Boomin. Yeah.
Metro Boomin, and he he did a beat right on the spot on the show, like because they interviewed him, and he just like took a record, made a quick beat, and then
Oh,
Gilly
man.
rapped over it. But then you forgot like Gilly was he was a rapper back in like
He was nice
dope,
too.
nice too back in the, and he just like
Man.
he's listening to the beat and he just like He just jumps on it and just starts rapping. I'm like, you can find it. I think it's like that clip has a lot of views on it, but like it's just put like Metro $1 million worth of game and you'll see it. And you like Metro's like, taking pictures of him while he's like rapping and shit. Like just something. And that's it. There's the reason why I brought up Gilly, because he's that type of dude. Like he doesn't take himself seriously. Like if you listen to $1 million worth of game, they're silly. Him and Wallow, like, but obviously,
goofy.
If you do your history, you do your Googles, you know who they were and
down on the
back in the day.
So
they can do it.
Hard back in the day.
But what was I actually? Yeah, no. I had another question I had for you was like, as far as like the brand, what do you? I know you kind of, it's for fun and all that stuff, but do you have any plans for the future of gold bars and hooks? Will there be another name change?
No more name changes. That was it. I only changed it once. That's it. I didn't want to confuse it because I think I lost a lot of followers when I changed the name. But yeah, I mean, like I just wanna meet more wrestlers. I want to interact with more wrestlers. I want to go to wrestling shows. Like I'm kind of using this as a vehicle to get me into wrestling shows and to go meet wrestlers. Cause like cool thing is you get wrestlers that follow you because Mark Henry follows me.
Wow.
Karrion Kross, Zack Ryder, excuse me, Stone Cold followed me. That fucked me up.
Wow.
With Stone Cold follow, and then not only didn't he follow, he interacts.
Yeah.
And like I posted something about my dad recently for Father's Day, and I had my list of the guys that he likes. Stone Cold's on that list. He's on my list too, of course.
He's on everyone. Yeah, of course.
DM me. He's like, "Oh, that's a hell of a list."
Wow.
I'm like, this is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, what the fuck? Like, excuse me, I'm sorry, but yeah, and then I got The Rock's mom. She got on me because I misspelled WrestleMania. I left the T out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. And then she cut the Rock promo on me. Like that. So like I'm literally getting out all of my childhood.
That's crazy.
Dreams out like through that page. So like, yeah, so I'm definitely gonna keep going, definitely keep collabing more with people, interacting with people, and having fun. I want to make sure that I do have like there is a science to all the madness. Like I try to make sure, like you said, like I post wide stuff, so I try to make sure I get the casual person with stuff like the nostalgic stuff.
Yep.
And then I show them somebody new that they might like, and then I show them something that they've never seen before. And and then of course like I'm adding all these hip hop elements because like I think that's the perfect marriage, of course, like the rap stuff, adding the beats over it. So it's it's basically the Adult Swim for wrestling fans.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I see that in your bio. What made you come up with that like tagline? Adult Swim for wrestling fans.
I don't know. I was probably just watching a bump. I was probably watching Rick and Morty, and the commercial came on. I was like, hey, that's kind of like what I do. That's kind of as far as like the music, the beats playing and stuff. Of course, they only
okay.
Notes. Right. They have like little notes and messages, but I'm like putting it to wrestling matches or sometimes to promos and like because sometimes like you'll hear like the Dusty Rhodes in the mink coat. That's hip hop.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
That's hip hop. So but yeah, that's just my strategy. It's for fun, but of course, yeah, it's for selfish reasons too.
Yeah, no, man, that's no, I was actually that's one of the things I totally I was like, I got to ask him about that, where he got that like that tagline, Adult Swim wrestling fans. Most people will be like, what the hell is Adult Swim? If you're old enough, you know what Adult Swim is. Yeah. But man, this is awesome. I always end the show on on a tricky question. A lot of people,
Ooh,
they get upset when I ask them this, but it's a question I like to ask at the end of every show because it's wrestling oriented. Obviously,
yeah.
if I interview someone that's not a wrestling fan, I'm not going to ask them this question.
Okay.
So I put the scenario out. So it's a person that like, you have a friend, maybe relative, doesn't really get wrestling. They're like, oh, why do you watch that? It's isn't this fake? That type of thing. What match would you show them that would totally change their perspective
Oh, that's
on
hard.
wrestling in general? Just like, from being like this is fake to like, holy shit, I'm not this got me hooked. What match would that be? What would you present that person?
That's hard.
It is hard, right? Because you got to think it's like this match is going to be the match that's going to like either make
Yeah.
or break a case.
And then sometimes you have to have like the what is the word? There needs to be continuity. So like sometimes it's not the right match.
Yeah, do you
They don't
go?
know the history of the wrestlers in the ring and stuff. So
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, you can get
that's
like you could present because I don't really say this in the question, but obviously, you could present the promos before that. You can present like the video package that they show before the match, so they could get like a quick gist of it. So I should add that to it so it doesn't make it too hard. But yeah, it's usually like, do you go with a story driven match? Do you go with a brawl type of match? Do you go with a technical wrestling match? You think that's going to win somebody over if they respect the sport part of it? Like,
yeah,
what do you go to? What's your answer? Let's hear it.
Jesus.
It is a hard question because it's
Oh,
like I
you
said,
got me.
it makes or
You got
breaks
me.
who this person, because they might be like, wow, this sucks. I'm not watching this ever again. Or they may be like, holy crap, wow, this is now I know why you watch it. I respect that.
Um, hmm, that's a good one because like, where do you even go?
They said you
Like,
could
I would like I want to say this, but it's gonna sound dumb. It's gonna sound dumb to some people. I want to say Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan
okay.
at WrestleMania. Was it 4 or 5?
It's six, WrestleMania
Six,
six.
six. Okay.
You have the ultimate challenge. That's what it's
With
called.
the
The
big because it got a good hype package. Like you
good
just
hype
see these
package.
big sweaty men, and that
The
was actually a good match.
the
Honestly,
crowd, yeah, like the crowd reaction to both of them, like
yeah,
what was that in Toronto?
yeah.
It
I
was like,
think
yeah,
that
the
was
sky was
Toronto.
it the Sky Dome in Toronto? That was huge. Yeah, it was like actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna hate that choice because that's a perfect match because now you could show like the fan aspect of it. Like, yes, this is legit. Like, look at all these sold out like crowd here
Yeah,
at the Toronto Dome, and obviously two of the guys at the top of the card. There's definitely there's definitely enough in it where it's not like overly crazy. It is a slow
yeah,
paced match, so it's not like you can follow it. It's not like all a bunch of flips and all that stuff. I
yeah,
like it. I like that choice. That's a good one. I'm trying to remember other people. I've heard people pick like Rock Hogan,
yeah,
WrestleMania 8, not 18. Sorry, was it 18?
yeah. That was 18.
Yeah, 18. Yeah, Rock Hogan at WrestleMania 18. Same vibe. Crowds just going crazy. You know, it's not a 5-star classic, but it's like if you want. I mean, if you rate
Oh,
it that way, but like it's 5-star in the sense where the crowd was into it.
yeah,
They played along with it. It was like they had to play it on the fly. If you hear the stories about it, like there was they had to switch because the crowd started booing Rock and
and
cheering Hogan.
I know everybody wants to go to Hell in the Cell, Mick Foley, Undertaker, but I think if you pick Hell in the Cell, I think you should pick the first one.
Undertaker, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
just
Yeah.
story wise, you know, like
Yeah,
clean
you could
and
definitely go that route. I usually I listen because I always think people are going to pick Eddie Guerrero or Rey Mysterio at Halloween
oh
Havoc.
yeah, that's a good one too.
No one's picked it yet though. That's a weird thing. I'm not sure like why. Maybe is it too fast pace for like a casual fan? Is it
No,
like
because that's the one. That's actually the one that I showed my little sister that got her into it.
was Rey Mysterio, Eddie
Yeah,
Guerrero at
I
Halloween
showed her
Havoc?
the whole WrestleMania 21 because that's my favorite WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But we watched that together. I bought that DVD 2005. It came out. it came out probably during almost close to the summer.
Okay.
A little after the summer or something. No, it came out in fall. I bought the DVD and we watched. So she saw Rey Mysterio and Eddie, Kurt Angle, Shawn,
Oh
Undertaker,
man.
Randy Orton. She's like, oh man. And then she saw John Cena win. She's like, I like John Cena. So that was, and then she was watching SmackDown with me every week.
You could literally go pretty much any Eddie Guerrero Rey Mysterio match and be
Yeah.
like satisfied. The custody of Dominic match was awesome at SummerSlam. They had the briefcase, but
Can you believe Dominic he's awesome. That's the same little kid. That's awesome.
man, I'm actually like I'm probably one of the few people in the beginning when he first started wrestling that actually like thought he was going to be at some point like good. Like I had a feeling he wasn't like not going to be like successful at all. Like his father's Rey Mysterio. His father's still wrestling and active. I don't think he would let his son, fail he's going to be taking his, stepping in his footprints at some point. So like, I think he's doing the, doing the due diligence. But the match I usually go with is it's Roddy Piper versus Bret the Hitman Hart at WrestleMania. I think it's 8 for the Intercontinental Championship.
That's a good one.
Only because it's Piper at like his like pinnacle, like Hollywood Piper. He comes back. He's not the best technical wrestler either. So like there's brawling in that match.
Yeah.
I like how Piper fights. It's technical wrestling because it like kind of like flip flops, and then Piper has to adjust and he has to start wrestling technically like Hitman. He has to try to keep up in that sense. And I love that. I'm a Piper fan.
When he kicks off.
Oh yeah, dude. Like I could go on and on about like Piper and Hitman definitely individually, even though Hitman's angry about a lot of stuff nowadays, but we'll move past that.
Hey, he's still the GOAT, man. He's still
best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. That's look at our logo. The Pod Foundation logo is after the Heart Foundation. So I mean, we're all fans of the Hitman, but yeah, man. No, this was great, man. This is definitely one for the Bucks. I really enjoyed having you on here. Definitely love to have you again if you're willing to do it again. Definitely. I mean,
yes, I'm always down to come on again, man. Anytime, let me know.
Yeah, definitely. And where can everyone find you?
So you could follow me on Gold Bars Hooks on Instagram. I'm really not good at integrating with other social media sites.
So it's all different names?
No. I have the same name. I'm just not as active.
Oh, on each one. Okay.
Yeah. I'm on Twitter, Facebook. And then you can follow me if you want to like see music stuff at Sir Jon Lee. But SirJonlee.
Yeah, I believe it's in you have it in your bio, right? Too, like in the Gold Bars and Hooks. Yeah, so definitely check him out on both ends. Definitely the wrestling side and the music side. We're gonna end it here, and awesome. You can always obviously follow me at the MVP Marco. I'm trying to be more active on Instagram, shying away from Twitter a little bit. Not sure what's gonna happen with that if that dude starts charging people. Probably won't be on there anytime soon. I'll probably disappear from there.
Twitter's chaotic, man. Twitter's chaotic.
But
post some of the rap stuff over the.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, I've been getting inspired by like doing like the meme stuff as you see with like the Jade and Charlotte and all that type of stuff. I think I'll start. I'm gonna try to start posting more like wrestling content and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, it's a process. Like I said, I'm not huge on like Twitter and stuff like that. I figured Instagram is probably where everyone's gonna go, or TikTok as well. Are you on TikTok too, or no?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok. Same thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely follow him everywhere. Like I said, follow me everywhere. It's the same name all over the place. I was lucky enough to do that. Except for TikTok, I think it's like an underscore in there, but someone already took my name for some reason.
Oh man.
But very upset about that. Not sure why I'm like nobody, but I don't know why someone has that name. Or maybe I just created it a while ago and totally forgot the account. That
Probably
could have
I've done
possibly
that.
happened. But yeah, definitely like I said, check us out. Check out the Pod Foundation at Pod Foundation on IG. That's where you get all the updates on like the millions of shows that we have every single week, including this one. So yeah, I'll talk to everybody soon, and thank you for listening. Peace.